Hello, Afro Ronin, reacting to part 2 of Lowkey, Fire in the Booth part 2. Like I said in the first part, this man his vocabulary astounds me. Like, it's incredible. Okay, and like I said for the title for the other video, he was woke before woke. But it's not, no waffling, let's just jump right in.
They don't let us dream, then we won't let them sleep. Listen, check it. Power to those that read bell hooks, power to those that sell books, power to those that know how the inside of a cell looks. Through those feeling helpless, forgotten and discarded. Power to the strange fruit they thought was rotten in the garden. Power to those sitting alone, seeking knowledge in the power to those feeling stain on your tomorrow with some tarnish. Power to those that sweep the streets with more knowledge than PhDs. Power to those that
Power to those who sweep the streets for more knowledge than PhDs.
thought was rotten in the garden. Power to those sitting alone, seeking knowledge in the power to those feeling stain on your tomorrow with some tarnish. Power to those that sweep the streets with more knowledge than PhDs. Power to those that keep their keys, return his promise, please believe. Power to those that suffer in silence, those it hurts to hear. Power to those that hold the ground, power to those that persevere. Power to those that love humanity more than they love style. Power to immigrants, probably raising Donald Trump's child. Power to the
God damn. Like, of all the insults I've heard for towards Trump, like that's probably the biggest one. Like, that is a slap in the face and then a backhand. Nah, bro. Real disrespectful, and I love it. I'm here for it.
those it hurts to hear. Power to those that hold the ground, power to those that persevere. Power to those that love humanity more than they love style. Power to immigrants, probably raising Donald Trump's child. Power to the who can't imagine what sight is, those staring at the moon and all those working night shifts. Power to the readers, the writers, the illiterate. Power to those that struggle to decolonize their syllabus. Power to the shy ones who will struggle to make friends on a half. Severe power to those that love humanity more than they love style. Power to immigrants, probably raising Donald Trump's child. Power to the who can't imagine what sight is, those staring at the moon and all those working night shifts. Power to the readers, the writers, the illiterate. Power to those that struggle to decolonize their syllabus. Power to the shy ones who will struggle to make friends on a half of humanity worth less than 8 men. Power to those that risk their life to dig the colton from the ground for the mic I'm spitting on and the phone you're holding now. Power to those that built the stadium they're playing in. Power to those that mowed the grass and stitched the ball that they're playing with. Every rapper that doesn't rap about killing. Power to the builders who build buildings that outlived them. Power to the slaves of ancient Greece, never had the right to vote. Democracy dead like Gary Webb when they import it like it's cold. Power to those that right to prison. Power.
This man's mind seems to be like a computer to me. Like, all I can say is he was woke before woke. Like, you're thinking of people way back then. How often do you just wake up and think of people back in Greece who, you know, who helped build Greece, but they weren't free? Like, how do you just wake up and think of stuff like that? I want to be that woke, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like I need sleep. You know, I need some sleep. This man is too woke. It's too woke. Like, he seems like a tortured soul, you know?
Spitting on and the phone you're holding now. Power to those that built the stadium they're playing in. Power to those that mowed the grass and stitched the ball that they're playing with. Every rapper that doesn't rap about killing. Power to the builders who build buildings that outlived them. Power to the slaves of ancient Greece, never had the right to vote. Democracy dead like Gary Webb when they import it like it's cold. Power to those that right to prison. Power to those writing home. Power to those writing poems. Power to those that died alone. Power to Curtis Mayfield. Power to Ronald Isley. Power to the fishermen that were forced into piracy. Power for every person that is working in a life.
Power to the fishermen that were forced into piracy. I'm assuming he's talking about the Somali pirates. Being from Africa, that really bothered me. Like, because over here in the States, all the news was telling people is that these people are just ransacking, are just, you know, they're just pirates. They just woke up one day and decided to be pirates. And then for a school paper, I decided to dig into it more myself to find find out more about it, because you don't just wake up one day and decide to be a pirate, right? Like, how long has it been going on? And that's what I wanted to find out. And I found out that they were just regular people fishing and stuff. It was water that they needed, but countries were dumping nuclear waste in their water. People were getting sick. Apparently, they went to the United Nations and complained about it. They talked to all the countries that were doing it and complained about it. Nothing changed. So they took it upon themselves to, deter the ships that were dumping nuclear waste in their water. And then it went from doing that to piracy, because they found out that they could take their stuff and make money from it. At least that's what that's what I found out from all the digging I did, anyways. And I remember I was in history class, and I brought that up to a teacher who was talking about the pirates, and her response to me was, "It's just another excuse." And I couldn't believe it. I'm just like, all right, I'm done talking to you. I distance myself from people like that.
To those writing poems, power to those that died alone, power to Curtis Mayfield, power to Ronald Isley, power to the fishermen that were forced into piracy, power for every person that is working in a library, power to every nurse that we turn to in our times of need, power to the unions and the miners that should punish, power to those that drive the buses and those that collect the rubbish, power to the youth desiring the truth, power for every rapper that is dying for a fire in the booth, for those that lost limbs to King Leopold's quota, and those risking their lives for the P&O to Dover, power to union leaders murdered by, power to victims of this globalized Cosa Nostra, power to those dying on the shores and the borders, power to human beings that were rendered fauna and flora, power to those that after the stage show and carnival goers still wanted by Kelso Cole Cranes, goes power to Kevin Carter, his picture. Power to human beings that were rendered fauna and flora, power to those that after the stage show and carnival goers still wanted by Kelso Cole Cranes, goes power to Kevin Carter, his picture taunts us ever after, so many questions never answered.
A lot of the names he's saying, I'll just be straightforward with you guys, I don't recognize any of those names. If you want to leave me a summary of who those people are or what they did, let me know. Feel free to let me know in the comments. I try to read all my comments. I will definitely be reading this, because they got to be important people if he's bringing them up.
Power to those that after the stage show and carnival goers still wanted by Kelso Cole Cranes, goes power to Kevin Carter, his picture taunts us ever after, so many questions never answered. Remember the last words of عبد المحسن السعدون الأم تنتظر الخدمة الإنجليز لا يوافقون, power to El Jawahiri and his rebellions. They killed his brother Ja'far and he cursed the rotten Temsians, enlightened despots pursuing tactics Machiavellian. Chinese still preceded Europe a millennium. Think about it, printed press half a millennium. Never get close, power to Ken Loach and every volunteer in Lesbos. Cuban doctor sent to Sri Lanka for the tsunami. Power to those that cleaned up after the Bullingdon parties. Kids knowing Apple products before they know what an apple is, forgotten like passing.
Damn, bro. Kids will know Apple products before they know what Apple is. My God, bro. He needs to sleep. He needs to get some sleep. Seriously, I can't imagine your mind thinking about all that stuff like all the time. I want to see like what he's like on a normal day. I can't imagine just waking up and thinking all of that every single day. Like, that has to be torture for the soul.
Volunteering Lesbos, Cuban doctor sent to Sri Lanka for the tsunami. Power to those that cleaned up after the Bullingdon parties. Kids knowing Apple products before they know what an apple is, forgotten like passengers on the USS Indianapolis. Dying days before they could see what little boys damaged it on the precipice of fascism. My passiveness is cancerous. Power to those strong enough to dream. Power to those that chose not to be a cog in the machine. Power to those that love first and hate never. Power to those that sleep on the streets through grey weather. Power to Aziz Ali and Bone Thugs and Harmony. Power to Norman Baker, David Kelly's owner artery. Power to the genocided population of Tasmania. The internet descends to Trumptastic fantasia. Let them try quote this. You'll never find a better diagnosis than collective psychosis.
Did this man just use Trumptastic fantasia? Is that one word, or is that two words put together? I need to know. I'm gonna Google that.
that love first and hate never. Power to those that sleep on the streets through grey weather. Power to Aziz Ali and Bone Thugs and Harmony. Power to Norman Baker, David Kelly's owner artery. Power to the genocided population of Tasmania. The internet descends to Trump-tastic fantasia. Let them try quote this. You'll never find a better diagnosis than collective psychosis. It's getting quite hopeless, but hope is all we have. Trying to cultivate the positive, not focus on the bad, but the globe's under attack. The obnoxious rage of a fake intellectual, amazing grace in the age of the spectacle. Not the first time they found a race is selectable to raise to the pedestal and desecrate the place that translated the decimal. I don't want to tempt fate, power to corpse washers like AM day, power to language learners. Bernie Sanders fans the flag burners. One man's inertia is another man's purpose. In the utopia of song we are victorious, but the bittersweet reality's not this glorious. Power to Coltrane watching Malcolm X. Power to Paul Robeson under house arrest. Power to Galileo under house arrest. Power to Ibn Haytham under house arrest. Forgive me if I sound obsessed, forgive me if I sound depressed. Believe me, that's not how it's meant. They probably thought I couldn't come back and kill the alphabet. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Say el pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El shab yerid esqat al-nizam. Say el pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
If anybody knows what he's saying, please let me know in the comments, because I definitely don't.
Say el pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El shab yerid esqat al-nizam. Thank you very much.
Alright, that was Lowkey, Fire in the Booth. I really like that beat, that piano beat. I love instrumentals like that. Piano, violin, I love those. I'm gonna give this a 10. A lot of this stuff, he used way bigger, words. He used words that were way bigger than my vocabulary, that I would spend hours going through the dictionary just to find out. But that Trump-tastic Fantasia, I'm definitely gonna look that up. That almost sounds made up to me. But yeah, I'll definitely be checking out more of his stuff. This guy's great, man. I feel like he's a real tortured artist. He, you know how they say like knowledge is power? I feel like for him knowledge is power, but at the same time knowledge would be a curse. Just everyday life. I'm curious how his everyday life is. Yeah, it's a 10 for me, man. The man poured his heart out. He poured his soul. He poured all his knowledge into that. Yeah, it's a 10. Let me know what you rated. Let me know what you thought of it. Thank you for tuning in.